Hello, hello, hello. And thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. Today we're talking about easy content. Easy content. And one of the reasons that we're talking about easy content is because um we have a lot of people out there that is creating books. Every day there's a new book born, right? And so one of the reasons that I wanted to have this conversation because it kind of aligns with where I'm going with my next conversation. The next conversation that I'm going to host is going to be you have your new book, now what? You've published a book, now what? That's going to be my next conversation. But for now that you have a book, we're talking about how you can create content around that book. What we tend to do as self published authors every single day, and I don't know why I'm so loud. Okay, every single day, we attempt to sell our book in some shape or fashion because what else do we do? We don't know what to do. Let's just go and put that part out there. And so basically, you're playing it by ear. And when you see these videos is like been there, done that, wore the t-shirt. Now I'm trying to teach you how to do this the right way. I'm trying to prevent you from bumping your head to the wall. You ain't got to do all that, okay? So let me just go ahead and do my short little introduction for those of you that's new here. My name is Lynette Kincaid, the author and also writing coach. And if you're new here, if you could do me a favor, share this content, like this content, subscribe to this content. And if you've come in the middle or towards the end, y'all do yourself a favor and go back and watch the beginning of it, okay? Because keep in mind, you may feel that you may not need this information, but I promise you, we're right like on the cusp of the holidays. And what happens during the holidays? People are already shopping for Christmas. What you're wanting for the holidays is you're wanting for people to want your book for the holidays. Thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate you. We're talking about how to create easy content for your published book, okay? And so do yourself a favor, do me a favor. Thank you so much for liking this content. I appreciate you. Do me a favor and like, comment, share, and also subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. I'm grateful that you guys are here. So, here again, a lot of times when it comes to why is this seat like adjusting itself? Anyway, a lot of times when people create their book, what we tend to do is we attempt to sell our book in some kind of shape, form, and facet every single day. Every time you post, and it's almost, if you can think of it, I'm going to give you an analogy. It's almost as if you can think of the worst neighbor you ever have had in life, right? And what is one of the reasons that you hated that neighbor, or you didn't kind of like that neighbor, or you started not wanting to open the door for that neighbor? Because they became a nuisance in a sense. And so basically, they were always either borrowing something, they always needed something that always broke at their house. And so you just stop wanting to answer the door. Okay. And this is the same concept that happens online. Online, people love you. They're glad that you're still living, but they don't want to hear about your book in the same way every single day. It becomes a nuisance. It becomes nerve wracking. And so, this is the reason why I am sharing with you how to create content that's going to draw people in instead of sending them away. When you have a book, we do so much when we have a book, but we don't do the right things when we have a book, okay? And so now I'm showing you quick and simple ways in order to share your book and sell your book without attempting to sell your book, okay? So the first thing, what you should be attempting to do right now before you even get started with creating your content, guys, remember the fact that when someone else has you on their blog, that's content, okay? It's just that the content is on someone else's platform instead of yours. When someone have you on their live, when someone have you on their podcast, that's also content. I'm not sure why you guys don't take that content and create it on your own. People love seeing teams, they love seeing collaborative works. So when you're on someone else's platform, honey, take a piece of that content from their platform, and now that's your content. Okay. A lot of times we don't do that. That's simple content. Okay. But I'm going to share with you 5 ways. I'm only going to do between 3 and 5, honey, because my nerves, okay. I can't do it. um, so I'm going to show you 5 ways of how you can create content simple, quick, to the point. I just shared one with you without even really sharing one with you. The first one was just use other people's content. Use other people's content. Okay. Use other people's content. I knew it. Like this, y'all, excuse me, okay? Because my seat was adjusting, and I'm like, why is it adjusting? And I didn't adjust it, okay? But my feet is on the thing that adjusts it, okay? Like, things happen when you go live. And if you're waiting for that perfect moment of going live, it's never going to happen. At least it doesn't for me. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. It is what it is. All right. So the first thing is these are ways to create content, sell your products without actually selling your products. Okay. And the first thing is share behind the scene moments. What are behind the scene moments, Lynette? I'm glad you asked. Behind the scene moments is anything that you're doing. Maybe it's you watching TV. Maybe it's you drinking a cup of coffee. And, I have a friend, like if I if I tell her to put herself on camera or take a selfie and post it, she's not going to do it. Period. It's not because she's worried about her safety. It's not because she is just not going to put herself on the camera. And I know that it's some authors out there that you just don't want to be on camera. You don't care what I say. You don't want to be on camera. Honey, share a video of your coffee making. For those of you that have a Keurig, show a video of your coffee making like process, right? If you're drinking tea, what does that look like in the mornings, right? So you can actually share yourself getting ready for work. You can share yourself starting the car and talking in the car. Like, you literally don't have to show your face. You can actually show a picture of the book that you're reading. Show a picture of your book. You're flipping the pages of your book. Like, people love that. And people are more than seeing people on video, people love sounds. So what can you create that shows sounds? Okay. So share behind the scenes moments. Those are priceless right now. People love getting in other people's business. So that's a way to put people in your business and not put people in your business. But keeping in mind that as you're sharing behind the scenes, it's not just sharing behind the scenes. It's also something that's going to align with your book. Okay. Don't forget that concept, because a lot of you are like, hey, I'm shopping today. No one really cares that you're shopping. They want to know why you're sharing this content with them. What difference does it make, right? So behind the scenes content, people love that. Readers love that. They love seeing behind the scenes, especially from an author that they love. The one thing that I want you guys to remember in this whole process of writing your book, you're not just writing a book. Number one, you're sharing a story. Number two, you're wanting people to love you as an author. People aren't buying things just because, ooh, I have extra money, I want to buy something from you. People are buying books from authors because they love that author for some reason of another, right? And so the whole point of you sharing information online is to make people love you, show people your personality. Okay. They want to hear your voice so much that when they read your book, they're like, oh my goodness, it almost felt like she was reading this book to me, right? A lot of you are wearing your audience out. You're wearing your audience out. And I'll share with you why. You're wearing your audience out because you're sharing all this content, and you're sharing all this content. And if they don't understand, if you're not breaking your content down for them, they just don't get it. You can tell people all day, I'm having a book launch, I'm having a book launch. But if they don't understand books, they don't understand what a book launch is, they don't understand the whole concept, that means nothing to them. You've just given them a lot of useful information. Okay? Get comfortable with sharing your information with people, breaking it down. What does it mean? Okay, so you'll see me doing that a lot throughout this video. Don't worry, I won't go over 30 minutes. I try to keep it short, sweet, and to the point. I also do that because guess what? As I'm sharing this content, this is a longer version of content. So if I'm making this content 30 minutes, guess what that means? That means that I can have at least 30 pieces of shorts that I can come back and share on either LinkedIn, I can share it on YouTube, because those are the two places where I am right now. If you're looking for Writing Coach LK, I am on LinkedIn, I am on YouTube, and I'm also on Twitter. I don't know why I'm on Twitter. I got to be honest. I haven't figured it out. I have over 6,000 followers, and they're just sitting there. I don't really like the new Twitter. I like the old Twitter. The old Twitter had this program called Periscope, if for those of you that remember that. And Periscope was the first app that allowed us to go live besides YouTube. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The second thing is to turn your book quotes into quick posts. For those of you that's just chiming in, I am sharing quick tips on how to create content without wearing yourself out, without, a lot of you, I was about to say this, a lot of you are wearing yourself thin, and you're wearing yourself thin because you're on whatever app. If they create 10 apps today, you're going to be on all 10 of those apps. But here's the thing. If I don't understand you on YouTube, I'm not going to understand you on Facebook. I'm not going to understand you on Instagram. So you are wearing yourself thin for nothing, for absolutely nothing. One of the things that I would suggest, I love the fact that you can be versatile. What we don't understand is we see our influencers and we see the people that we love and we see them on every single platform, right? But the ultimate thing is they're making their content micro content. Micro content is super short, super small. And whatever content they have it bite sized to where you can understand it. Okay. You're not doing that. You are creating long videos over on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and guess what? Nobody's watching that long content like that. It's a lot of you that will start at you'll fast forward to the end. What did she say at the end? I just want to make sure I didn't miss what she said at the end. It's a lot of people that are not watching long content. Okay. We just don't have the attention span that we used to have. So meanwhile, you're wanting to be on all these platforms, but yet your content, no one understands your content, BB. Can I say that? I hate to be the one to say that, but you're putting all this content everywhere and no one really understands it. Be okay with breaking it down. Some of you will put the best content visually up, but the caption is so short that no one even understands what you're talking about, right? So making sure that you're not only putting up amazing blazing content, but be okay with having a caption that accommodates that as well. So the second thing that we talked about when we're creating this content, number 2, use your book quotes, quick post. What was something that was memorable from your book? Okay, use those quotes over and over and over again. And if you decide to create a t-shirt, because I know that's what you guys like to do as self-published authors, and I'm all for it, but if you are going to create a quote, create a quote that nobody's going to forget. Okay, it's something that's memorable. Share why it's memorable. Now, here's something that I always advise during the holidays. During the holidays, a lot of things are happening for people. One, people are passing away. I hate to be the one to put that out there, but that's just the stats. People will always lose loved ones during the holidays. So that's number one. Number two, people will always reconnect during the holidays. People that you haven't spoke to in years will always appear during the holidays. I don't know why, it just happens. Number three is people are always gathering during the holidays. Okay. So as people are gathering, find something in your book that reminds people of those three things. What's happening in your book that reminds people of either something tragic that has happened? Because people, although it hurts for them to talk about a loved one, they're okay with talking about some sort of tragedy or something sad. Like you bring it on home for them. Number two, what's in your book that reminds them of some sort of gathering or some sort of reconnection? People love during the holidays, they love seeing pictures of teams, collaborations. They love that. They love it in general. Okay. Also, what has happened in your book that celebrates something? Did someone graduate? Did someone maybe graduation, some sort of wedding? Like, pick out most memorable things that happen in your book, and you constantly keep sharing that during the holidays. Okay. We always think, as people are celebrating holidays, we always assume that, oh my God, everybody is with family. Everybody is not with family. It's people that are away for college, that they're by themselves. There's somebody that just got a divorce, that's by themselves. Somebody that may have just lost a loved one, that's by themselves. There's someone that may be traveling for a job, that's by themselves. So we always assume that everybody is with someone during the holidays, but this is why your book really matters during the holidays. And this is the reason why I want you guys to amp up posting during the holidays, because you always feel like, oh my goodness, everybody's, they're on break. Everybody is celebrating. No, everybody is not celebrating. Somebody is at their computer working. Okay. And as they're working and as they're scrolling, you want your post to be the post that stops people from scrolling. Okay. So keep that part in mind. Number three, answer questions and common topics. We just talked about that. So people want to know, if you ever want people to grow closer to you, answer these questions for them. Even if you say, hey, what is something you want to know about my book? Because I know you guys will do this, right? You'll post something like this online and no one will say anything because we have become watchers. Okay. We're really not commenting anymore. We're watching. And so if you don't get a comment, you don't go back and address that question anymore. I want you, even if no one is posting those questions, I want you to think hypothetically, okay? So think about what inspired my book. You have a book right now. What inspired you to write that book? Which characters of your book, and this is for fiction books, right? If you have a fiction book, what character that you created was the hardest book for you to create? What message do you want readers to take away from your book? I'm grateful that you wrote a book. It's amazing that you wrote a book. Now that you wrote the book, what is something you want people to take away from this book? That's something that a lot of people don't answer. And you want to know why they don't answer it? Because they just wrote the book. They don't dive into why all of this is necessary. And I talked about this a little bit in pulling your story together. The easier it is for you to zone in on why you wrote the book, who is the book for, it's going to be easy for you to market to those people. The reason why you're having a hard time selling your book, because you have this big ideology of selling to everyone, and your book is not for everyone. Your book is for a certain set of people, and you haven't found them yet. And instead of you just kind of stepping back a moment from social media, stepping back a moment from the noise, because social media is very noisy. right? And instead of you stepping back from that, what you're doing is you're jumping in, both feet first. You're jumping into that thing. And you're assuming that while I'm here, I'm marketing to everyone, and you're not. And what happens is you're drowning, baby. You're drowning. You're trying to market to everybody, and you don't see that you're literally drowning in trying to market to everyone instead of just saying, you know what? A lot of self published authors, the first thing that they do is they gravitate to other self published authors. And guess who you're getting those sales from? Those quick little sales that you're getting from other self published authors. And then after that, you're wondering why there's no more sales. The self published authors are buying from you because they get you, they understand the fact of the struggle. But then after that, where's your real audience? You don't know. You don't know. And a lot of you have been sitting in this cycle forever. You've wrote a book, you're marketing it to all the other self-published authors, you get you about 25 sales, and then now you're back at square one. You want to know why? Because you don't know your audience. And until you learn who your audience is and what they do and what they like to do, then you're going to struggle with trying to market to them. Okay. And this is the reason why I create these videos. I create these videos because I've been there, I've done that, and I've worn a t-shirt. Okay. So the other thing is, what message do you want authors to take away from your book? That's number 3. Answer questions and common topics. If you don't know what questions to ask your audience or answer for your audience, baby, Google it. Google it. Or ask AI, since you guys like AI so much. Ask AI, create 10 questions that I should be answering for my audience. Okay? Number 4 is repurpose reviews and feedback. If someone has left you an Amazon review, that's now content for another platform. Oh my God, now you need to create a whole thing about your book. Okay. So now you take those reviews, snapshots of those reviews, and now you're putting it on another platform. But you don't just throw it on another platform because people don't know what they're looking at. And that's what you guys don't understand. You guys are just assuming that people know, or they should know, what they are looking at, and they don't. Okay? So just imagine if someone sent you a text and they just sent you a text of a picture. You have no idea why they've sent you the picture. You want some sort of context behind it. People want that. Okay? Because they want to know what they're looking at. So don't just take a picture of it or screenshot it and put it on another platform. Explain to people what that actually means. Okay? Explain to people what that actually means. All right. The other thing is reviews and feedback. Also think about testimonials for your book. If someone has created a video behind your book and what your book is about, things of that nature, you want someone else's voice on your platform. You want people to see that. Okay. Number 5, and this is my absolute favorite. Again, if you're just joining in, 5 easy ways to create content aligned with your book. Okay. You just wrote a book. So now you're needing to market the book. And if you self-published, this is for you, honey, because with self-publishing, we get almost shocked towards the end because we're like, oh my God, I've did all this work. I've done all this work. Now I got to actually market the book too. And we try to take shortcuts when it comes to marketing. And it's not going to happen. It's no shortcut when it comes to marketing your book. Okay. And that's why I keep making these videos. So for those of you that's just chiming in, 5 easy ways to create content around your book. Okay. You have a book, now what? Okay, you wrote your book, now what? You've published your book, now what? Okay, so this is 5 easy ways to do that. Now, the 5th way, I'm going to break this all the way down to you. And good news, I got 5 minutes to do it. Okay, so what I do is I take my phone, and I was about to get my phone, but I forgot. You guys are watching me through my phone. Sorry, I'm crazy. All right, so the first thing that I do when I am creating content, and this is the easiest way to create this content, okay? So the first thing that I do is I grab my phone, and pretty much every 5th thing on my book, on my phone, I can use for content for something else, okay? So what I like to do when I am out and about, especially when I'm in a park. Oh my goodness, I love this when I'm in a park. When I am in a park, I'm going to take a picture of the leaves waving on the tree. I'm going to, and sometimes I'll let that sound play out in my videos. I am going to, if it's, just something weird that's happening, maybe the grass is greener than normal. I'm going to take pictures of that. If I'm in a coffee shop, especially if I'm in a coffee shop, I'm going to take a picture of whatever I'm drinking. Okay. This is the type of content that will help you tell stories about your book. Okay. So don't just keep in mind that you don't have to always take pictures of yourself all the time. You don't have to do videos of yourself all the time. But what I like to do is I like to see, and this can actually be a challenge for some of you guys. I pick every 5th thing of my content to create content for something else. Okay. So I'll give you a great example. It snows here a lot in Colorado. No shock to you guys, right? But what I like to do, if I'm already out and about in the snow, I'm going to maybe take a picture, take a video of me walking in the snow. And I'm not going to always use that content right then and right at that very moment. However, it's going to be a voiceover or something. Here's the thing that you guys forget. If you have a video, and the video might have been from years ago, right? Guys, consider making a voiceover and attaching it to that video and reusing that video. Sharing with someone. I shared a picture recently, or maybe it's something that's scheduled. I had a picture of me graduating in 2023 from a business cohort. So I'm actually using that picture to create content, to say what I want to say. But then at the bottom of the content, I'm also sharing, hey, this is a picture from when I graduated from blah, 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 right? Or, hey, I want you guys to really strategically think about the content you have already. We are so big on trying to create content, and baby, you already have content. If your phone is giving you an alert that you're almost out of storage, you already have content, baby. Use what you have in your phone already. So what I do, I make a rule of every 5 pictures or every 5 videos, I'm going to create some sort of content. In order to update your content, if it's an old video and you don't want to use the sound that's on that video, I like to use what is called InShot. I upload the video to InShot. InShot, I can adjust the sound, which means I can mute what's currently on the video, and now I can remake my video. Okay? Simple and easy to the point. If you have an old picture and the picture looks outdated, you can use either Canva or you can use Adobe Express in order to bring those pictures back to life. A lot of you have over $1,000 phones, which is, that's your business. But if you have $1,000 phone, baby, put that $1,000 phone to work. So a lot of you already have mechanisms to where you can update your videos and update your pictures, like it automatically is built into the phone. So take advantage of that. Start using that. All right. So quick recap. All right, for those of you that's just chiming in, or for those of you that's just decided to go all the way to the end or fast forward all the way to the end, the name of this content that I'm sharing today was 5 easy ways to create content aligned with your book for the self-published authors. Okay, if you're on this channel for whatever reason, and I just need to say this, because if you're on this channel, what you're going to get from this video and the videos that I share, you're going to get inspiration, you're going to get positivity, you're also going to get where I'm talking about self-published books in some facet. I'm also working out now, so you'll get a little bit of working out as well. I am on day 31, okay, and so today will be day 32. So thank you guys so much for watching that journey. I also share all of this of what you're seeing. I also share this on LinkedIn. I share this in a deeper facet on LinkedIn. So if you go to LinkedIn and you search for Writing Coach LK, you will find me, baby. I am there. All right. And I'm sharing all of this information, and most of this information is broken down to the T, because I don't just share content. It's not my goal just to share content. You can get someone to just post a whole bunch of content anywhere, but my content is more detailed, because I want to make sure that the people that's watching me or the people that's following me, I want to make sure that you literally understand what I am talking about. And one of the reasons I do that is because when you don't know something, that means you'll pay for things that you don't know, right? For example, for the people that feel like, oh my God, she's doing too much, she's saying too much, she's saying that I can make my own content, and I'm just gonna go over there on Fiverr and I'm just gonna have someone else to do it for me. And a month later, guess what? You're still not gonna have what you need, baby. All you did is allow someone to help you get over the hump one time. I'm sharing with you, literally, it's an old saying, you can either teach people how to eat fish for one day, or you can teach people how to fish for life. I am teaching you on this channel how to fish for life, okay? For those of you that's new here, my name is Lynette Kincaid, the author and also writing coach. If you made it to the end of this video, give yourself a hand, baby. The other thing is, if you made it to the end of this video and you like this content, make sure that you subscribe to this content. Make sure you take pieces of this content and share it with your audience as well. I love you guys, and thank you so much for watching.